Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Season 2, Episode number 2 of RollPlay Nebula Jazz, the show where even if the world is falling down around you, at least you've got this going on. Hello, everybody. Hi, and welcome. Welcome, Space Cadets. How's everybody doing?
Oh, good.
Avoiding natural disasters? Staying alive?
Yeah, you know.
I mean, aside from the natural disasters that is our own individual personal lives, we're doing pretty good.
You stole my joke. Stole my joke.
I would say that I'm avoiding the natural disasters in real life part really well, but life it's a little bit of a disaster. So, but at least it's nice and sunny in Texas. So,
at least we got that going on. Yep. Well, I for one am happy to be here and to play some Nebula Jazz, and I think it's going to be great. But before we get into that, I want to ask you: have you seen this video of somebody playing Cuphead on a black and white television? Have you seen this video?
No, that's amazing.
It's so good. Yeah, it's a Lazy Game Reviews video. I just watched it the other day. I haven't played Cuphead at all. I've been aware of its existence, but that video is so cool. You should definitely check it out if you haven't yet.
Does it seem like the kind of game that you would get super into, or you're not sure?
I feel like I probably would enjoy it, but I'm just really into playing Zelda right now. Finally.
Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I finally am playing it. So
gotcha.
Yeah, someday perhaps. But yeah, how are you feeling about it? Because you were still working on it last time. You beat it, right?
Yeah, I beat it single player, and Jesse invited me on to do the rest of co-op with him. Mm-hmm. And I love it. It's the perfect game for me though, because I love games that are really straightforward, like do this hard boss fight, like Fury. Just that kind of a process of going in, learning the mechanics.
What was that Viking one that you were playing a long time ago? Yeah, so similar jam for you?
Yeah. All of those kind of games they're really fun because when I fuck up, I know it's my fault. And so when I'm victorious, I know that it's because I got better. And I love that feeling.
Yeah, there's basically two approaches, I think, to that situation. There's the crap, I screwed that up. All right, let's try again. Let's do better this time. And then there's Zeke. So you can kind of do one of those two approaches.
Somebody said they were watching my stream of it and Zeke's at the same time, and they were like, the difference in demeanor is so astonishing.
The videos and clips that came from that are hilarious. Oh my god. I don't know if he put them online or if other people just clipped them and put them online, but they are rage. I've never seen rage like that. It's next level.
It's Mario Kart then. He straight up broke his monitor, got up, took a hammer to his monitor over Mario Kart. It was his rage is top level.
It's really hard in this day and age to find someone who experiences their feelings as purely and intensely as he does. So I'll give it to him for that. But yes, there's lots of different ways to react to these things.
I like how we're sitting here crying. Yeah, it's really funny. He needs help, guys.
Yeah, please. Give him the love of God.
This sounds like a joke, but we're really is the cry for help. Poor guy.
Yeah. So I saw a little bit of debate back and forth on the internet vis-a-vis Cuphead and whether or not co-op is easier. Where do we stand on this?
I would say it's the exact same. In fact, if anything, it's a little bit harder.
Sam, rebuttal.
I have done both now. I think co-op is harder. I think there's specific situations where co-op is so much fucking harder, and then there's obviously situations where it becomes a lot easier.
It sounds like the run and guns are crazy difficult co-op.
They're an absolute fucking joke in co-op because the screen only scrolls at the speed of the back person. So you have to slowly shuffle along together.
Yeah.
And if you make a jump and the other guy doesn't make a jump, then suddenly you can't see the enemies coming, or you have to go back and try and get its ghost.
Fuck. Like a little old game called Contra.
But when you do it, and there's moments where like Kren and I would time our jumps the exact same, and you're like, we're like the same person. When that stuff happens, it's really impressive.
When your brains sync up,
you become drift compatible via.
That is it. Yeah.
But there's one thing that I think is really you definitely know that it's worse in co-op, which is, for example, the pirate boss, how he does like a little like pea shooter octopus attack. The pellets have an order. It always goes first person, second person, first person, second person. So as you're moving, unless you two are synced up where you're like, do not move or else he's going to shoot at me, you can like move into the path of a friend and that person gets hit by your pellet. And it just, or the very, very end, Dodger and I played the final boss because you have to jump and then whack a card at the end. Or no, it was the second last boss. You have to jump and whack a card. It freezes the screen a little bit. Like when you hit something, it goes like, and the screen does a little flash. Two people doing that, trying to time on the cards, I don't see how that's possible.
Yeah,
I don't know how you would do it.
Impossible. It like froze to the point that we would lose like any rhythm we had, and then we'd just die.
Yeah, it was insane. I don't know. Thankfully, I died and she just did it. I was like, go do it.
But there were literally bosses that I played with Octo and we one shot. Like we literally did it on our first attempt because it was co-op. Because we managed to like just bumble our way through mechanics by like tapping each other's ghosts and staying alive.
I will say that is one thing that I love about difficult games. That idea of like going into it knowing that a boss or whatever is going to be very difficult, and then being able to one shot it, because you only get one opportunity in your whole life ever to do that for each individual experience, and doing it and being like, yeah, I'm not so bad after all. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good feeling.
It was pretty great.
Yeah, and I think that's what people like about those sorts of games. So it's like hyper difficult. Yeah. I feel it. So Jesse, I want to ask you, what do you think of the Star Wars poster? There was a Star Wars poster that has been revealed. How do you feel about it? And what secrets does it reveal about the Star Wars universe?
I love the symmetry of all the characters. You have Luke Skywalker at the top, obviously the one the movie is really focused on, and then underneath him, on the left and right, you have Rey and Kylo, who are both connected to him. And because they are obviously related, right? There's that like, that interplay. Underneath him is his sister, which is great because like they're all connected. They make like this weird triangle diamond shape. And then you have Finn and Poe, who, as we know, are lovers, and they're facing each other, or facing the opposite way because they can't express their love for each other. And then at the bottom are like walkers and explosions and shit. That's cool, whatever.
The ephemera, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't necessarily like this poster. Whatever. I miss like the old school Star Wars posters that were like badass illustrated things. That
the one where Luke is like inexplicably ripped for some reason.
Oh fuck yeah! I want more of that. I would love it if they had Luke like just ripped and like another just like old Luke, but he's ripped, and old Leia, but she's also like super ripped. Everyone's just ripped.
Super ripped, like, everybody.
Yeah, well, everyone's just like.
It's hard to believe in a ripped Luke now because he pretty much just looks like a Jedi version of Slavoj Žižek. Like he's just this kind of like weird old like philosopher looking dude. But I mean, hell, throw an old man head on a ripped body. Good to go.
I'd be down. I want that. That's the Star Wars I want. If they're gonna use CG for any, like they're gonna put faces on people and shit, reverse it.
Might as well give him some huge ass muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, reverse it.
Okay, put a 6-pack on everything. Some Ewoks, go for it.
Ripped.
Yeah. It's more 6-packs for everyone in the Star Wars universe. All right, good. That's a good takeaway for that poster. Besides having great insight into Star Wars, what else have you been up to, Jesse?
Man, I am doing so much stuff to try and like, for years, I don't know if you're aware of this, internet, but for years, there's been like this, I'm sure on Twitch there's something very similar, but on YouTube there's like the game where you have to play the YouTube game where everything's like no one to do this and no one to do this and make this video and do this thing and like tag it this way and say this. I finally sat down and was like, F it, I'm gonna learn how to do this. And it's only been 7 years, I might as well learn.
Yeah.
And so I've learned incredible, ridiculous things that are just like, Why though?
There is a secret language. As speaking as someone with like a background in digital marketing, there is a secret language that powers the internet. It's like
really is.
dark sorcery, and it doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
No, it doesn't make sense. But like, if you do things a certain way and you do this, you do that, it all. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely paying off on stuff. It's just crazy to see it like happen because you would not expect it to be that way. Like you're right. It's like discovering some sort of dark sorcery, like a Bible black book, if you will. And when you open it, besides dirty hentai, it's how to win at YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now.
I hope you write a book called How to Win at YouTube.
For chapter 1.
But on the binding, it just says dirty hentai.
Yeah. No, that's what it is. How to win at YouTube, and it's porn.
Dirty hentai. Yeah. Hot pics as your thumbnail with nothing related to it at all in the video.
That's truly, that's like one of the things is like, I'll never do that. It's never going to happen. I'm not that hard up on it. But like literally, if you want to win at YouTube, your thumbnail needs to have giant yellow letters that say like, is it a dick? And then have boobs in it, and that's how you win. Like that's like swear to God. And
just genitals as best you can do with genitals.
Yeah, but also you have to stay clear of like you can be flagged for being inappropriate. So you have to be like wieners, and then like a hot dog hanging out of buns, and then you're fine.
Yeah, you have to skirt the edge, just skim the scummy surface.
I will never. I wallow in it. I don't skim. I jump in. I'm like
right in there.
Dirty. Yeah.
Well, good. The secret to YouTube is wieners, and if you take nothing away from today's episode, there it is. JP, go ahead and add wieners to the tags for this video. We've discussed it long enough.
Trying to help JP. I got it. You know, he's got this Twitch shit on lockdown. I need to help him on YouTube.
Wieners. Yeah.
Make all the thumbnails for this just like various hot dogs.
That's
like,
perfect.
Next episode's a bratwurst. Yeah, just keep doing that. You'll be fine.
Perfect.
Next episode.
Pokket, I wanted to. So I didn't say this on Twitter because you know how Twitter is. Sometimes I'm just like in the middle of doing other shit. Your like makeup selfies of late have been fucking awesome. All your creepy Halloween ones.
Oh, thank you.
Primo stuff. Besides looking both awesome and terrifying, what else have you been doing? Maybe just that.
That's pretty much it. I actually got back into Final Fantasy. I hit up Sam actually the other day, and I was like,
"Can I?" You were playing.
Yeah, I was like, "Can I join your guild? I don't have a guild," and so I joined theirs, and I'm leveling up now again. I'm 2.5 levels away from hitting max. So that's what I've been doing, sort of in my own time. But then, other than that, I've been doing a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
And destroying my face.
Right. Yes, as one does in these circumstances.
Is it expensive to like get through it all?
No, it's not really expensive because like I have a giant makeup kit that was like $150. That is pricey, but it's lasted me through probably like 30 looks now. So
all right, cool.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been lasting a long time. I think that the thing that becomes pricey is if you have the outfits. Like with Freddy, I got the claw, the hat, and the shirt. So, and that one hurt the most to take off. So.
Right. Yeah. Now your makeup stuff is mostly just like on like face painting basically, right? You're not doing like spirit gum and like weird. Are you any interest in going in that direction? You get some like.
Well, the only one that I dabbled with that is Freddy this year. He's the only one that I tried to do that with because I'm like it's gonna hurt and I don't want to do this too often. But the rest, I'm just trying to get face paint and work with like shading and all of that. Like Jack Skellington was a lot of shading instead.
Yeah, you can do.
That
and
one
I
was
did,
fucking cool.
I was gonna say, I say this like I knew this before you showed me, but you can do a lot with just like fake depth by way of. Turns out, makeup, art, same thing.
Well, I guess Jason was another good example of like some people are like, wow, I thought that was a real mask at first. And I'm like, no.
Right, because you had the like half mask, right? Yeah. That's really cool. So Halloween approaches. Are you going to do you have like is there a Halloween costume? Is there one thing you're going to do? Or is it just like kind of the whole month is just spooky stuff?
Well, I've been doing, I want to do some that aren't as terrifying now, but I do have like the Tokyo Ghoul main look I want to do. I've been getting into that in my free time, but then also I want to do the Four Horsemen.
Oh, cool.
Interpretation on that. So, but other than that, like I'm gonna finish Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Of all the things, because I'm making her armor. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Two.
That's
Two okays.
That's a whole other thing. Like all of this like intricate cosplay is, I like every time I see somebody in a costume, I'm like, it's magic. You are a sorcerer. You need to be burned at the stake, but you look too cool. I can't allow it. I have nothing but yeah, a deep and powerful abiding respect for people who do cosplay and makeup. And I've been super stoked. If you're not following Pokket on Instagram, get your ass in gear, make it happen because it's cool.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jesse, did you notice that Blade Runner tweeted you?
I'm afraid to click this link. Is it a virus? Is it a Blade Runner virus? I fucking agree. Take my life.
Take my life?
It's a little extreme.
Thanks for your participation. Ooh, baby.
It's a trap, Jesse. Now they know you're a replicant, and
Fuck it.
Old-
I'm in.
old
I
Harrison
love
Ford
that
is on his
movie.
way to retire you. Get ready. Get ready for the Void Conf. We'll do it on the second break. Sam, how are
Yes.
you, Sam? I saw you were playing Guild Wars.
Yeah.
How's
the,
that?
the
Legends. Can we talk about
expansion
Legends?
came out last week, so
No.
I thought I would. I felt like JP's in a similar situation to me, where there's games I'm excited for, but they're like a week or so away, and so
Mhm.
like the excitement for video games is consumed by my hope, and then I have no enthusiasm for the games that exist now. And
Right.
so I've been finding games to play, and I decided today I was going to try out Guild Wars. I played it. It's quite funny actually, because I think the last time I played Guild Wars was 2 years ago, and I played like a Halloween event, and like themed my whole character to be like Halloween themed, the fucking bats everywhere and a broomstick, and then like quit. So I logged in, and you know, 'tis the season. I'm back in season.
I
look
feel like
great.
that's everybody who's ever played Animal Crossing. That story. Like, yeah, I was really into it for a little while, and then I logged out, and I came back, and it was like, whoa, why am I wearing this shirt? What's happening to me?
Yeah, that was exactly what happened. I was like, why the fuck am I covered in bats? But then I was like, all right, cool.
That's never a good thing to have to say. Why am I covered in bats?
Why am I covered in bats?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it a lot. It's cool. It's fun.
That's good. That's good. And so you're reserving all of your excitement for the future. This is just kind of
Yeah, I mean, I did
play
like
for
just for reference, I did a 16-hour League of Legends stream yesterday, so that's
Yeah,
kind of where my life.
I saw that. I was
about
like,
that.
what is he doing?
Wow.
I kind of ended the stream and I kind of sat in my chair for like 45 minutes instead of going home, and I was just like, who am I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got
That's real.
back to the office at like midnight, and I was like, surely Sam will want to go home by now. And I like brought him food, and I was like, so how much longer do you think you're gonna go? And he was like, a while. I was like, oh, all right.
You text me at 4 a.m. saying, it's 4 a.m., where are you? And I think I replied saying, I don't know.
Yeah, you replied. No,
Even though I was just sat here.
People,
That's
people
how
ask
lost I was as a person.
people ask all the time, like, what can I do to become a more successful broadcaster? How can I really, and it's like, yeah, we say, be yourself, have a schedule, but really the real secret is a deep and powerful abiding idea of how much you can harm yourself as a result.
Yeah.
Some of us
Avoid.
like
Let
So,
the
yes.
darkness take you, and that's
some of us like Sam, the darkness is already, it lives within.
I'm
and sometimes
tired
yes.
today. My neck hurts. I got a headache. I know it's all self-inflicted by that stupid fucking game. Why did I play it?
Every
Better
time,
yet, why did I
Sam,
play it for 16 hours? No one
every
knows.
time we have this conversation, I'm reminded of your return from the chiropractor, and your tweet of like, I gotta stop doing this to my body. That was weeks ago, Sam.
Well, like, here's the thing. I thought, like, hey, he fixed it. So
What?
I can just,
No,
I
and
can just resume my shitty life.
that's great.
That's
Exactly.
like-
Like,
he put an app on his phone that's like it's literally an app that however often you want it to, it'll be like, hey, remember to get up and stretch. And he was like, I'm going to start using this. And like 3 days later, I was like, how's that app been working? He's like, oh, I'm not using it.
yeah, I personally love having more notifications on my phone that I can ignore.
Yeah, it's such an obnoxious, like, bloop, too. And I'm like, ugh.
Right.
It wants me
Yeah.
to stand. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about you, buddy. You're driving yourself into the ground.
I'm all right.
But you know what?
I've been gymming. I've been working out. You know, body's getting what it needs.
Which is great because then once you're in shape, then you have that excuse to be like, well, fuck it. Now I can just be lazy for 6 months and just go in horrible, horrible destructive cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me. I've not been doing anything particularly interesting. Trying out pretty much everything.
Yeah, I feel like that's. So what are you excited about? What's a game that you're like really looking forward to?
I'm excited about Destiny. I'm very excited about patch 4.1 tomorrow for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like kind of excited about Shadow of War, but I think I'm gonna wait to see kind of how the cosmetics and stuff play out.
Is that out tonight at midnight? Is that what that is? Am I gonna?
Apparently, if you
Apparently
buy
old Japes here.
play it like right now.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to come out at midnight, but apparently there's like they fucked up, so you can just play it right now on Steam. So I might try that tomorrow. But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'm looking.
By download, what?
I know. I just saw that.
What? Oh my gosh.
It's also $100 to buy like the version of the game that has everything, and then there's like in-game purchases to like unlock the orcs and stuff. That's why like there's a lot of people just being like, I'm a whale personally. Like I just spend all this money and then I try and like expense it because I'm just a piece of shit. So I'm still gonna try it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm that person that's like I love you, Tolkien. I love all your dumb Silmarillion horse shit. I'm all about it. And then I'll play a game like this and just be like, oh, why am I doing this?
I wanna bang that sexy spider.
What?
JP says, Adam, you will 100,000% hate this game.
It's true.
Oh yeah,
it's true.
There's like another ring apparently, another one ring.
Yeah,
and,
the two ring.
Yeah, sure. Shelob is apparently just like a sexy woman in this, which I am down to fuck a spider.
Yeah,
Ow!
I mean,
It's
honestly,
happening.
we all are. That one level of hots really just does it for me.
Oh, the one where she's like,
I
that's my
mean, let's be real though. Like I like Tolkien in the same way that I like Dune, in that they're both just incredibly dull, like really just not exciting at all to read or enjoy. And a video game that did Tolkien justice would just be like, sit down and let us tell you a tale that you have no part in, and you can click on stuff, but it doesn't matter. Shut up. We're telling you a story.
Right.
Yeah. But Hot Shalob though, I'm pretty into that.
It's awesome, but I'm also gonna say the other day, this is how much of a nerd I am, and I think you'd love this. I was just online, and I saw a video and for Shadow of Mordor, and I was like, well, that lore doesn't make any sense. So I went in a 3.5-hour video lore binge of some guy who's like, I want to talk to you about Morgoth today.
Yeah.
While most people know Sauron, Morgoth, I was like, go on. Yeah, that's where I was the other day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is the most powerful of the Einar, so
True.
Melkor deserves what's his. I think, and that's the thing, is that when it comes down to it, we can't really criticize Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War or any of these games for being like untrue to Tolkien, because even Lord of the Rings wasn't a thing that Tolkien wanted to make. He just wanted an excuse to be like, I invented some languages. Let me tell you about them. I guess I'll just put some fiction around it so you don't get bored and run away.
Yeah, he has things that he obviously loves that take priority, like languages.
Yeah, which is fair. That's fine. He tricked me into pretending that it was an adventure story, and now I know more about Quenya. Yeah, I know more about Quenya than I need to know, so it's all good.
Now you know that Aragorn is 89 in the movie.
Yeah, that's right. He's a member of the Dunedain. He's a Numenorian. Don't get me started on this shit. Let me just take a deep breath. We're gonna put the Tolkien dork shit away. Maybe someday we'll do like a role play.
We were in a cabin in a ski resort, and
you couldn't escape.
Adam dropped that shit on me, and there was nowhere to go.
Yeah,
8 foot of snow outside.
Sam, where are you going?
Sam,
just like, I'm in the middle of telling you about
let me tell you about how Aragorn is 89, and I was like, that was it. Now I know.
That's right, because we watched the movies while we were there. I totally forgot about that.
That's right. But Haldir, Sam.
Were you
Haldir.
snowed in? Why were you just sitting around watching The Lord of the Rings?
It was nighttime.
Yeah.
Look,
just
we
chilling.
got 12 hours to kill. Fuck it. Let's just watch The Lord of the Rings.
We were watching
We're
Lord of the Rings.
we were in
There was nowhere
Colorado.
to go. We're in Colorado. There's like 8 foot of snow. And
Every now and then we'd fucking pour
Adam
ourselves
was
some
like,
bourbon and
"Hey,
hop
We're
in
just
the
gonna
hot
get up on
tub.
that halfling pipe leaf, and we're gonna just like rip it out to some Lord of the Rings, and I'm just gonna ramble for 3
Adam's
solid
like, hey,
hours.
guess what Lord of the Rings did to me?
Yeah.
Now let me share with
Let
you
me
all.
tell you. Yeah. Welcome.
It's
to
like
my
one of
world.
those horrible emails that's like, pass this on to 5 people you know. That's what he
Good.
did to us.
Thank you.
But
I'm
with,
gonna
like,
I'm gonna
Tolkien
put that.
lore.
I'm gonna put that on my gravestone. Sam says that I'm the chain email of Tolkien lore. It's good. It's a good thing to be passed on. Tell 5 friends.
We got together and watched Rogue One with R2D2 talking the whole time.
That's true. It was very cute.
Yeah, but that was a beautiful moment, and it was awesome. And how dare you equate that with Lord of the Rings in a cabin in the middle of nowhere?
We are really nerdy as a group.
Sam,
I know, you need to watch scary movies if you're gonna be in the cabin in the middle
you've
of
opened a terrible door because
I have.
I'm about this close to telling Jesse that Tolkien is better than Star Wars, and I love Star Wars. We're not
no,
gonna
you're
have
totally,
that.
no, you're totally right. I won't argue with that. Tolkien, like, there's lore there. Star Wars is like, fuck it, whatever works. But I don't care. I'm in.
One
Oh,
day,
boy.
I'm going to sit you all down and we're just going to watch One Punch Man. That'll be my shining moment.
Good. So the next time, dear audience, that you think that any of us are even a little bit cool, we're not. we are so not cool, and that's okay. You don't have to be cool either. You know what is cool? Role-playing games.
Yeah.
I
Segue.
agree.
You guys want to play one?
Yeah.
Let's recap. Let's recap the adventures of last week. What are the so? I have to say, Sam, I was really enjoying playing that penguin, and you keep
Okay.
taking away the things that I love, which I think is
Right.
it's only fair.
Yeah.
But what happened to Rex last time that we played?
Last time we played, Rex was taken captive by a mercenary appropriated planet. He was after something in particular. Well, 2 things in particular. A talented scientist and a map to Xanadu.
That's right.
And in order to do that, he had to go undercover, get roughed up a little bit, and then somehow, as Rex does, escape with the scientist and the map to his comrades. Obviously, they didn't have any faith in him. He didn't really have any faith in himself. Somehow, they all made it out. And they find
What do you
themselves.
mean somehow?
They find themselves on the Space Cow delivery ship.
That's right. Yes. The utterly dependable, or some other cow name. I'm kind of leaning towards that one. I think that one was my favorite.
Utterly dependable.
The utterly dependable. Yeah.
I like it.
That was my fave.
The slogan is "Count on us" with like a cow with
Oh,
it.
no. Right, exactly. Sure. And their mascot is some kind of cow vampire, the Count.
That
good.
cow.
It's welcome to the show, everybody. So you're the purpose for finding this map to Xanadu is the hope that you can cure your disintegrating girlfriend. And that Xanadu may hold a secret that will help you with this. Now, before you stole the map, our villainous mercenary told you. Scorn was like, "No, you fool! Like the map doesn't even point to anywhere. Like you're an idiot for trying to steal this from me." And then he tried to vaporize you, but then there were assassinations.
And then somehow you got
yeah.
out.
By no one's
by
no one's
chance,
particular
no one
action,
knows.
completely
Somehow
randomly.
You got out all by yourself.
It turns out he's real lucky and didn't need any help at all. Yeah. So what did you do all episode? What were you up to? Because everyone else was doing things. Artemis, what was your situation?
Yeah. What did you do?
How did you contribute?
What did you do?
So I was on the Utterly Dependable with Basil, and got a little antsy, got a little worried about our dear old man Rex. Was positive that he needed help, and despite him telling us to just stay put, I insisted that we leave and go try to break him out of jail. So a lot of things happened. We got into the duct system, and I got attacked by a slime monster, and had to do a frickin' Power Rangers Ninja Storm obstacle course of razor blades inside of the ship. And in the end, wound up being able to get to Luna and Rex right as they were going to be vaporized, so that I could intervene. He lived because of me. I was important.
That isn't how I remember it. But
That is exactly what happened. How dare you?
that is not how I remember it at all.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
I don't even remember you being there.
Today's episode of Nebula Jazz is just going to be like Rashomon. It's going to be the same thing from 4 different points of view. So Basil, from your point of view, how did last episode go?
Well, all the things Dodger had to do and get through, I caused. So pretty great for me. I had a good time. Yeah, Basil is a terrible, terrible droid, robot, android, sentient, whatever he is, that literally just hates Space Gigolo is apt. He just doesn't give a damn about anyone but his own enjoyment of his terrible, terrible misfortune of being stuck in this crappy body. And so if he has to mess around with his friends, so be it. Right. It always works out in the end. He tried to blow everyone up, but it didn't work. So
yeah, that's right. Scorns, they were temporarily delayed by a minor robot revolution that didn't end up going anywhere. So there may be some after effects of the situation.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who even knows? And so part of your recovering things from the base was the acquisition of a new crew member of Luna Kiara. So Luna, you were freed from your prison and are now tooling around with these nerds.
Yep.
Let's start there, right? Like I mean, Rex, is this a like I have my prize on, I'm gonna go and look at it elsewhere, or are you kind of do we fade in on the scene of you like, look everyone, look at what I have?
I think we fade in on Rex. He's in a room with Miss Scientist, and he is trying to persuade her to take on the job, right? Because she doesn't know who Rex is, or that he was here to break her out. In fact, is
that true, Luna? Do you is this all a surprise to you, or do you recognize this particular space ruffian?
No, her thing was that like she kind of figured someone was gonna break her out, but she didn't know who or what. And so she's like, well, I kind of figured this because like in the past she's had several people want her work, and
that must be a nice thing to feel when you're in prison. Like somebody will come and bust me out.
Yeah, pretty much. But then she's like, she has no idea who he is, so it'd be like, oh, did so and so pay you? Wait, no. So yeah, she has no idea what they're up to. She just figured, and so that's why she left.
Okay, so the two of you are in somewhere on the Utterly Dependable, talking this out. And I think you're in a room that they're probably in the background, in the sort of blurred out background, we can see swinging gently with the ship's movement a bunch of long unused milking machines. And everything is it's kind of old and like not used because the ship has been repurposed. So I guess, Rex, when we cut in, it's partway through the conversation. So I guess between the two of you, how is it going? Like, is this a tense conversation, or is it like you're coming to an agreement about her place in the crew?
I think we come in on the pitch, right?
Okay.
So Rex he's been breaking it down a little bit, and we come in on like a whiskey glass with some ice cubes in it, and the contents is just a nice, cool, refreshing glass of milk, and he sips it, places it down, and he slides a data pad across the table, and on the data pad you can see a cryostasis Mengasi, and
now is this a still image? Do you show her this is like a picture, or is this like a live feed?
This is like a live feed.
Okay, all right.
You can see like the date and time is like the timestamp's running up in the corner, and he kind of ends his pitch and he says, 6,000 now. All the research is yours. And 6,000 when the job's done.
Make it 10 each.
I said the research is yours. You can sell it.
You can't find anyone else. You need me for this.
I literally just went to great lengths to get you.
Here we have a mechanism for the two of you negotiating this situation, right? So Rex, what do you want Luna to do? What if you get your way, what's going to happen here?
She's going to help me synthesize the cure.
Okay, which you do not currently have, but that's part of the plan, is that you will find it.
But I feel like I'm close.
Okay, so she'll stick around long enough to help you find the cure, and then produce it so that you can save her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and Luna, what do you want out of this?
Oh, she's putting on a show, but she just wants the research. So
Okay.
she wants the research for her own, like something that she's working on as well. So.
Okay. All right. So what if this conversation goes the way that you want it to go, what will you get? Like what benefit? What's keeping you from just saying yes to Rex right now?
I think she's testing him. She's testing him, but what does she get out of it? If she gets all the research and then she can do anything with it, then that's fine enough. But he's going to have to let her do whatever she wants to get this done. So that includes like blood samples and.
So this is a like I'll stick around, but we're doing this my way.
Yeah,
So
this
really, it's about who's in charge, right? Like who gets to make these calls
when it comes to the research and whatnot.
Okay, Rex, are you? I mean, I guess if that's what's at stake, what do you think? Is that okay for you?
That was Rex's intention, was to find someone who didn't care about the money.
Okay. So this is all just surface. So it sounds like you don't
when
even
she asked for 10,000, Rex knows she doesn't even give a fuck.
Right. So you don't even disagree. You're just like playing at this this situation. Okay. All right, cool. So what does that look like? Carry on from here. So Luna, you were like, make it 10,000 both ways.
Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah.
Rex, he kind of smirks and he's like, we both know you're not here for the money.
Oh yeah? And what am I here for?
The research, the fame.
Oh.
And everything along the way.
I could pass on the fame, but the research, you just have to agree not to stand in my way, and I'll get this cure to you. But all the research is mine.
Deal.
Okay. Then
Rex holds out his hand.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she extends her hand.
All right. I'm just making a nice mental note that you said that, and I'm sure it'll never come up again. Okay. All right. So you'll help, but whatever you discover ends up being basically like your intellectual property, and you can do with it what you like.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So with that, man, Rex, that's a hell of a thing to agree to. What do you do after this conversation, right? Like, so you have this moment of agreement. And then Rex, I want to remind you that you told Artemis and Basil to stay on the fucking ship, and they didn't. Maybe you need to go deal with that, or are you gonna like let that slide this time?
Too old for that shit. Rex, he has left the map in the possession of our wonderful, caring for organic life robot. And so I think after concluding this business negotiation, he kind of like heads back into the cockpit and kind of like leans on the doorway, and he's like, she's in. Any luck with that?
In what, sir?
The map.
I wasn't aware I was supposed to look at a map, sir.
This map, and you see that in the passenger seat this whole time there's been what basically looks like a pile of laundry, but it's just like me. Just like lounging, and this.
Okay. So yeah, the map that we described before, no one has seen it yet, right? We have the like the disc that contains the map. And in true Mingasi form, it's even the medium that it's stored on is unnecessarily Baroque, right? It looks like some kind of gold clockwork device with a sort of crystalline interface. Yeah, I mean, I think have you done something, Artemis, to like allow your ship to display it, or do you have like a personal Mingasi like device you can use here, or what?
That's the first. I can't
step.
even like read Mangasi.
Yeah. So you just have the thing. Like,
I can't like do anything with it really, but like I was there when Rex gave it to Basil, so I know where it is, and I know that you have the physical to thing. Touch it. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So what are you gonna do with it? Right now, it's as it stands, unreadable.
What even is this? I'm like, holding it up.
Basil looks at you and is like, I believe it's a map.
Yeah, really? Wow. You're so helpful. What a great robot.
You're welcome.
Just like set it down on the dash.
Yeah, and it's a massive contrast to the like crappy, grimy, like basically like farm tractor you're driving around. You put it down on the dashboard and there's just the filthy surface and the scratched up screens. And then outside we can see the sort of colorful, blurry lines that indicate that you're traveling between worlds.
Yeah, I was almost happy to not be touching it anymore because it feels weird to be holding something that's like that that well put together.
Yeah. Totally.
Basil, how do we read this?
Well,
this don't make no sense to me.
I'm no geographer or space cartologist.
Is he glitching?
But I... But what...
Yep. It's so much better imagining a synthetic Mel Gibson in this moment. Like,
yeah.
I keep forgetting.
It's just too good.
His sexy body is like holding words back. They like him dumb.
Anyway, it depends on what map we have. First, we must understand the layout or find some sort of compass to determine the direction. We know nothing about this map right now. There isn't even a key.
Yeah, you're gonna need the help of someone who understands Mingasi technology, because this doesn't even look like a map. It looks like a weird gold record with a bunch of notches and holes in it.
Who would even know about this stuff?
Anyone?
Well, one would assume the Mingasi.
I can't read this. And all the other Mangasi that I know are my age. Like, none of us learned how to... I don't...
Well, that just goes to show you the poor quality of the Mangasi education system. And Basil gives you, like, the snidest look, like, dummy.
Yeah, Mel Gibson looks at you like you're an idiot.
Yeah, yep. 1985 Mel Gibson.
I throw like there's like
beautiful Mel Gibson.
there's like a little dish that has all kinds of like nuts and screws in it that fell off somewhere in the ship, but we have no idea where they go, and we just like keep them in a little dish at the cockpit, and I just pick one up and throw it at him.
You're right. Yeah.
It
bounces off his beautiful synth flesh.
I find that action offensive.
I want to like walk in behind Rex.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I have like this whole notepad, and it's just scribbled with a bunch of like shorthand notes. That would be pretty hard to read for anyone else to read. But I'm just like jotting something down. I'm like, really? You don't know anyone that can read a map?
But to be fair, you can't read it either, though. So
no, but she's like, she's a researcher. She knows all like a lot of the different races. Doesn't know them personally, but knows of them. She's like, you don't know. And she looks at Rex. She's like, you don't know anyone. You've been around a long time.
Rex gives her like the slowest, most aggressive head tilt. And then
wasn't there a race that was known for knowing a lot of stuff about other people?
Yes. The Alexatronians. Good call, Doctor.
Yeah, the one thing I was trying to avoid.
More robots.
Oh, why? They're a peaceful race, aren't they?
Rex lets out a guffaw. All right, well, let's find out. It's been a while.
Okay, so you want to, I guess, where do you think you can go to, like, I mean, you can go to Alexatron, but the thing about that is that they, that's the homeworld. That's where all of the Alexatronians are. But the hive mind has sort of got some space now since the last time you were there, right? They've been able to spread out, and they're kind of colonizing some other planets. And Alexatron's like pretty far. What do you want to do? Do you want to go directly there, or do you want to go to like an Alexatronian colony, or like think, Rex? You've got some history with these people, so maybe I'll leave it up to you, I guess, unless somebody else has a suggestion.
I think that nearby there is kind of a neutral station. And the station has like embassies for
totally
major players, and so Rex knows that there would be an Alexatronian embassy at this kind of like interstellar pit stop, and I
dig it. Okay, cool. It's like an interstellar like Casablanca or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So is it a planet, or is it a space station?
It's like a giant space station.
Cool.
That has like a huge spaceport and stuff. And so I think Rex under his breath says, we could do with a new ship anyway. And then kind of like gives Basil some coordinates to punch in.
Yeah. Okay, well we'll go with the Casablanca thing. We'll say it's called Bogart Station, and it's like a kind of a crossing point. Maybe it sits in a neutral space between a bunch of other territories. It's a dangerous place, but also lots of people end up coming and going through there. And the three territories that it borders are at war occasionally, and you have to like either guess or be very plugged in to know which ones are at war with which at any given time.
After the fall of the Mengarcia, the Alexatronians and the Agarans and that, they kind of seized space. Physical space.
Yeah, I understand.
And so that this station is one of many where you would typically, if you were looking to enter their territory, you would go to this station, you would receive a permit from their embassy, and then you would be able to travel without hindrance. And so like they kind of do it to avoid the little spats and bouts of conflict that arise.
Nice. Okay. I'll come up with a couple of scene aspects, and then we can take a visit to Bogart Station.
Cool.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So, is there anything that anybody wants to do on their way to the station? It'll take you, like as much time as you want to have to like do scenes before you get there. But if there's anything you want to do beforehand, now is the time.
Just as like a little aside, like character thing, knowing that she's going to be surrounded by lots of different races. She's gonna like, maybe there's a scene where you see Artemis like pull her hood back, and you can see that her hair is like black, but along the roots it's white. And so she's like touching up her hair dye and like does her makeup to like make it so that her face doesn't look gold. Like like tries to make it so that she can blend in a bit better even when she's like wrapped up just in case.
Okay. All right. So do you want to try to let's have you make a roll to create an aspect for like a disguise. What species are you trying to disguise yourself as?
I
Just
just
like
it's hard to
isn't
cover
you?
up the gold. Yeah. So I probably go like a bit darker than my normal skin tone, but I don't take the time to put like any sort of embellishments. I just don't want my skin to like stand out. So
Okay. Cool. All right. So it's not a particular disguise. It's just like trying
it's
to
just like
not be you.
I'm not Mengasi. That's like
Okay.
the big thing that I'm trying to do.
Okay, cool. So I think this is probably a careful roll.
Okay.
And to disguise yourself as something that isn't Mingasi, let's just say difficulty 2. Careful roll.
Okay.
All right. So you have a choice. Either it's a bad disguise, or will complicate things for you later, or you can sink a point into it, in which case you're basically just banking this point for later.
I'm gonna sink a point into it.
Okay.
And
What
use,
aspect are you gonna use?
Golden Shadow, because I've had to do this a lot.
Yeah. And that's sort of your go-to like sneaky ninja type one. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right. So you'll use a fate point. You'll bank it in that particular disguise. So what is this? I guess what is this moment like for you? Are you doing this like calmly? Like this is your kind of intimate, like us seeing you through the mirror as you like put on the makeup. What does Artemis look like? Like let's give me some insight into Artemis's emotional state while this is happening.
She really hates having to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a routine that she enjoys because she's basically been hiding for most of her life. And that's one of the reasons why she's so drawn to Rex, is that this whole mission has to do with saving someone who's Mengasi, and it's she's happy to be like on this ship and part of this mission and part of the crew. But every time that she has to hide what she is, it's like really, it feels emotionally like it sets her back a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like a easy, like I'm just doing it and getting it done sort of a thing. There's lots of heavy sighing and
So more like needle in the hay from the Royal Tenenbaums and less like any Vietnam War movie where they're putting on the like war paint. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we see you disguising yourself. Do you do this in secret, or is there a chance someone else has like observes this happening?
I don't hide it. Everybody else on the ship knows what I am. So
I mean, Luna hasn't yet. So Luna, I think you walk by Artemis's room while she's doing this. You notice it. Do you stop and talk to her, or do you just like?
I think I stop for a second, and I like I just as she's doing this, I like look her up or down. I'm just like, interesting. And
I like turn hearing her voice.
Oh, sorry. Don't let me stop you. Keep going.
I like reach over and close my door.
You just hit the button, and it like slides shut.
Just instantly feel like kind of insecure having, especially somebody that I know is like a doctor and a scientist, like having somebody just stare at me. I'm like,
just don't watch me do this. Okay, cool. All right, so the door slides shut, and we follow. So the camera follows Luna. It sticks to you.
Yeah.
Where were you headed? What are you doing, Luna?
I would say I head back into one of the free rooms that I was told I was going to be staying in, and that's where you see me. Like I'm still in the stuff that was in the prison, so that's where you see me change into like some brown pants and a button-up collared shirt, and then the white typical doctor's coat over it. And there's this bag I have, and I put it on the bed, and I start like going through it for things that I'll need, little knickknacks or a few weapons, small weapons, nothing big, some electronic devices, and then of course my notepad and pen. So always got to have that.
Okay. So amid your things, what's something that's not like out of place or something that shows us like something about your character that we wouldn't have expected, right? Because I mean, it makes sense for you to have all your science stuff and like a gun or two because you're tough and you were with these bad dudes. What's the thing that reveals something unexpected about
I think the thing is like there's a lot of what looks like tonics there, and a lot of different there's like a few different colored bottles, some of which just look like they could be a drink, and then some of which look like they're glowing inside. And like there's a green glowy one and there's a blue one specifically, and they're very carefully wrapped, but you can still see a slight glow through them. And she just kind of like shoves them like down and makes sure that they're secured inside the bag. So
okay, so you take an extra moment of care with whatever these things are.
Yeah. So.
Cool. Okay. Great. All right. So we see that moment of you alone, kind of hiding these glowing items, and I think we'll fade out there and we'll take our first break, and when we get back, we'll explore Bogart Station. Don't go anywhere. We got lots more Nebula jazz coming at you right after this.